Hey guys, welcome back. It's me, Brooklyn, your tech trainer here at KW Tri-Cities. And I just want to show you guys how to bring some documents into your DocuSign room and how to get those signatures and then how to archive those copies that you no longer need. Okay, here we go. So obviously you're going to start from your opportunity or from DocuSign.com and go to your room associated with your opportunity. I'm simply going to click on Go to Transaction right here on the right-hand side of my screen. That's going to launch me into my room in DocuSign. Now, if you're not already signed in, it's going to ask you to sign in at this time, and then it will launch you into the room. But currently, I'm signed in. Okay, so how we add those documents is super easy. We're going to use this blue button right up here at the top. This is Add Documents. Then we're going to select DocuSign Forms. That's then going to give us an additional pop-up where we can then select all the forms that we want. Now, if you are just a Tennessee agent, you're only going to see the TAR library. If you're a Virginia agent and you've joined the Realtor Association for Virginia, you'll have a library underneath this that says Virginia Forms, okay? But you have to join the Realtor Association in Virginia to get access to those forms. Now, something that we've done here at the Market Center to help you guys out, so you're not constantly having to scroll through all these forms, we've created groups for you. They're right here above the libraries. Now, you'll notice there's a rental packet, buyer consult, land and lot documents, residential listing documents, and residential offer documents. We can create different groups and packets for you. If you just let us know what you want to see, we'll be happy to get that together for you. For now, we're just going to focus on the Tennessee buyer consult documents. If you click on this folder, it will then show you the documents that are needed for your buyer's consult documents. You've got your representation agreement, you've got your working with a real estate professional disclaimer notice, wire fraud, COVID release, and importance of getting inspections and a property survey. Now, this document could just as easily be in the buyer documentation, but we thought it best fit here so you could go ahead and get what your buyer wants out of the way. So you can simply click individually on the documents that you want, or you can click on the Select All button right here at the top of the folder group. Then you'll simply click Add Selected. Now, I'm not going to go into how to fill out these forms. I'll do another short video on that. I just want to show you how you get them into a room for signature or into an envelope for signature. So you'll simply select them after you've filled them out. You'll have to do that first. And then you'll come up here on your action bar and you'll select the pin. Once you select that pin, it'll launch you into what's called an envelope. That envelope is your way of sending multiple documents for signature. I highly recommend naming what the envelope is. If you do not name it, later on down the road, when you're looking at all your envelopes in your envelope section, they'll all say the same thing and you won't know which envelope you sent out was for which documents. So please, please, please name your envelopes. Okay, you can then move these documents in any kind of order you want by clicking and dragging. Now you're going to come down to the Add Recipient section. For DocuSign forms, it's best to use pre-tagged roles, okay? So DocuSign form is anything that you brought in from that DocuSign library, okay? And it's always going to be tagged with a blue icon on it, okay? I'm going to use pre-tagged roles. Then I'm going to select who's signing. And for the sake of this video, I'm simply just going to do one person's signatures instead of adding all three people on here. I'm just going to do one so we can get them signed and then show you how to archive stuff. Okay, so I've added myself as the buyer broker. You, of course, would want to add buyer 1 and buyer 2. And then you can give an email message. I always like to change it to please sign buyer documents or whatever documents is in there. Okay, then you're simply going to come up here to the right-hand corner and click next. That's then going to launch us into the forms. Notice all of them are blank. I'm not going to go over how to fill these forms out. I simply just want to show you that the signature is already there. And I like to delete this text for date and time simply because the date signature that's already stamped there is automatically going to give you a time. You do not need to have your people manually fill that out. The date stamp has a date and a time associated with it. So I'm very quickly going to go through here and I'm going to check to make sure I don't have any more time texts that I need to pull off. Okay, and then I'm going to hit send. It's okay that I didn't need to sign all these forms, as long as there's a form within the envelope group of forms that I do need to sign. So I'm going to simply come in here, hit sign, and I'm going to sign my portion of the documents. It's going to take me directly to all the places. Notice how it has a date and a time. I'll click sign, finished. And now I have signed the documents. If there were more people associated on these forms that needed to sign, such as both of the buyers, it would go out to them to sign at the exact same time unless I put it in a descending order. But I did not, just to make it simple. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the Documents tab. Notice that before I do that, notice that my envelope here says completed. Okay, that means the documents are done and everybody has signed them. Now I'm going to go back to the Documents tab. Notice on this screen, I have multiple copies of the form. I don't need this blue copy anymore, so I can simply click this circle on all the blue versions, because remember, the blue version is the DocuSign form. The green check mark is the version that I just signed, or pretending that everybody in the transaction signed. And then we also have this certificate showing who signed and when at what time. I don't necessarily need that, so I'm going to go ahead and archive that too. To do that, I simply check all the ones that I want to get rid of, and then up here on my activity or my action bar, I have this one that says archive. If I select archive, it gives me a list to verify. I can remove anything if I wish to, and then I just simply click archive. That then gets rid of all those blue forms, and I'm simply left with the documents that are signed. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, you can always call the office and get my information, and I'll be more than happy to help. Thanks, and have a great day.